Mic check 1 2. Mic check 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. Hey everyone, what's going on? Good afternoon. Welcome to hashtag TNT JoeFi Tech News that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. I am your host, Jerome Ortega. This is episode something because I've lost count. This is also day something in quarantine because I equally lost count. How's it going, guys? Good afternoon to people in the US. Good morning, good evening to everyone else around the world. Hopefully everyone is doing well, being safe, doing all the things that you need to be doing. Also, I apologize for being just a tad bit late. I think I hit live at the 2:04 minute mark. I was doing apartment stuff today. Oh man, there's a super chat already, you guys. Levin with the $2 super chat. And by the way, just for having the best stream. Levin, man, thank you so much. Thank you for making it. Appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for the support. Thank you for that continued support, man. Levin, much respect. Thank you so much, man. I know you might not be able to watch it, but for you to stop by and just even listen in is great. So thank you, Levin, for the support. Just everyone else. I was a little late today because I ended up getting denied for the apartment I applied for, which is unfortunate. It was really my first choice for an apartment. And you know what sucks about applying for an apartment and getting denied? It's like getting ghosted when you date a girl or something. I know it's probably a weird analogy, but they denied me and there was really no explanation. So I have no idea what I did that like turned them off to it. Was it something, did it have anything to do with my credit? Did it have anything to do with me having kind of like inconsistent income? Because, you know, I do freelance for a living now and that's most of my work, and like nothing is steady. I've had some good months. I've had some not good months. But you guys have actually been helping out with a lot of that. Oops, I meant to take this away. So thank you guys again for the support. But I ended up getting denied and it sucked because that was my first choice. And it not only does it suck, but it's like, you have to I had to pay a $50 application fee, and it's non-refundable. So not only do you really not get any kind of answer of why you got denied, but they take your money at the same time while you did all that work. It's like, it's like, again, going out on a date, paying for the meal, and you didn't even get to eat it. I don't know. I just felt like I did all the work applying for it, and I don't know, whatever. I'm not here to sit and complain. Just whatever. It's fine. I will try a different apartment, and if that doesn't work, then I'm going to have to kind of figure out really what's going on. Anyway, guys, welcome to the stream. How's it going? I'm using this as my like soapbox to complain. But let me say hi to everyone in here. I know Levin was the first in here, obviously, with the super chat as well. Levin, thank you again so much, man. Thank you for the support. Okay, Brian's in here as well. Brian, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Team Varai is in here as well. Team Varai says, just went back into the city after several months and finally back home. Wear your masks, people. Good advice there, Team Varai. Good afternoon, everyone. Team Varai, welcome, man. Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you. Nice to have you. Okay. Mauricio's in here. Hello, Mauricio Salazar Rosas. Hey, how's it going, Mauricio? Nice to see you, man. I think it's been a minute, right? I haven't seen you in a minute. Welcome to the stream. Team Verizon says, sorry to hear about the denial. It is what it is. I mean, what am I going to do? I need to figure out why, though, because I don't want to keep applying for stuff and losing $50 every time I apply for an apartment. But we'll see how this one goes, because I ended up applying for one right before the stream started, which is why I was a little late. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get into the first story here. I feel like I say this every time. I haven't had time to go through these stories, but I was very busy today. So let us start off with T-Mobile. There is this article from VentureBeat. I don't really read articles from VentureBeat, but I've had a couple. So T-Mobile's Uncarrier Next adds a free extra phone number, scam blocking. Does that mean I get a free phone number? Does that mean anyone gets a free phone? I guess we should read it, huh? When T-Mobile executives wanted to shake up the U.S. cellular industry, they announced the Uncarrier Initiative, offering to free customers from long-term cell contracts and expand their access to no or low-cost roaming plans. A strategy that was once painted as unsustainable, yet helped the company win over huge numbers of customers and ultimately absorb smaller rival Sprint. Today, the combined company is a viable third-place challenger to Verizon and AT&T, so it's announcing Uncarrier Next. The 17th step in its plan to, quote, continue to change wireless for good, whatever that means. The focus of the announcement is on fighting scam calls and robocalls. Actually, I've been getting a bunch of scam calls lately, and that's because I've put my application for work out, and I guess people have found that number on various platforms where I'm trying to reach out for work. And they keep giving me these bogus calls about like job opportunities that are like not job opportunities, which have reached a critical point, 58.5 billion robocalls and scam calls annually. For a good while, I wasn't getting any kind of scam calls. And now, ever since I put my resume out there, I get calls all the time. 58.5 billion robocalls annually, made worse as carriers have historically charged customers fees for services that fight these calls. Of course, we pay the dime for it too. Under the new program, T-Mobile, Metro, and Sprint customers are getting free access to caller ID services and multiple Scam Shield spam fighting features, as well as free services that will let them get fresh new phone numbers if they want. Oh, okay. So you're not getting a new phone number, you're just getting to change your phone number. Is that right? I've had the same phone number for like, I think a decade. I'm not switching my number. And then I have a business number too that I've had for, I think, over 5 years. Initially, T-Mobile is rolling out a new scam block feature so customers can block scam calls manually using only a dialing code. On July 24th, a more fully functional Scam Shield app will become available for download. I've never tried this app, but I don't know. Downloading something called Scam Shield just doesn't sound like something I want to add on my phone. But maybe it's good. I've never messed with this. Also, well, I guess the Pixel 4 or Pixels in general have new robo, like anti-robo call features, right? I haven't really used it. So, and right now my Pixel 4 is collecting dust because my Huawei P40 Pro Plus is my primary and my iPhone 11 Pro is my secondary. So, okay, so granular controls over different types of blocking, some for free, some for an additional charge, including calls from prison phones, political numbers, telemarketers, and other categories of potentially unwanted callers. There will also be a simple way to report spam callers. T-Mobile notes that it's fighting scam calls and robocalls on a network level using an AI system that updates its profile every 6 minutes to create network-wide blocks on user-reported callers and suspicious routing of calls, as well as employing the industry-wide caller verification system, STIR/SHAKEN. It also makes me wonder, with so many people doing robocalls, how big of a profitable industry is this? Is it that huge of an industry that maybe it is, and they're just scamming people all day? That just sounds disgusting. T-Mobile users will now see caller ID details in the same way as they see contact information. Arguably, the biggest surprise in the event was the announcement that T-Mobile customers will be given a free. Oh no, wait! So a free second. I'm like, yes, okay. I have T-Mobile. T-Mobile customers will be given a free second phone number called Proxy. I know it's not hashtag Proxy Pound. Before it was called hashtag, it was called pound, which will let individual users and families have a way to avoid sharing their personal numbers with companies that gather and share numbers. Proxy pound, I'm guessing, will apparently be a single shareable number across an entire family account. Oh, okay. And include a separate voicemail box. So it's not really like another number, which can gather, I mean, it is, but it isn't, which can gather up calls from businesses. The company will also allow customers to have a fresh start with their first phone number switching for free. So you can do both. You can switch your number for free, and you can also add whatever this Proxy Pound is. The Uncarrier moniker has been meant to signal that T-Mobile isn't a traditional cellular carrier, and the various initiatives that rolled out over the years have been stabs at common carrier practices, confusing billing, extended contract requirements, crazy international roaming fees, and so on. Let me kind of add on to that. When you read about common carrier practices, confusing billing, like that is they call it a common carrier practice. That's a deceptive practice. That is finding ways to abuse the system and manipulate customers and profit off of them. Confusing billing, extended contract requirements, crazy international roaming fees, so on. All different ways to make money from a lot of consumers who don't know any better. Is this similar to other practices? So the telecom industry, right? It's an oligopoly. You only have a few carriers out there. Think of, again, cable companies, internet companies, same thing, oligopoly, who do the exact same thing, confusing billing, extended contract requirements, just all these different things that they add in there. Things that, and so I'm trying not to rage. You guys know how I feel about that. Today, I don't know. Today's move fits that mold, dramatically reducing, if not fully eliminating, user costs for fighting bad callers who have been empowered by the growth and low costs of scamming people on mobile networks. It's just funny to me because it goes hand in hand. You have a telecom industry, and I mean, you know what? I give T-Mobile credit because my bill is super cheap. I'm grandfathered in. I pay no more than, and now I'm forgetting the exact amount, but I pay 21 something or 23 something after taxes per line. And there's 20 people on the combined lines we have because we found a way to just have a multiple family deal and everyone gets like incredible like data and free whatever. And we pay 20 something dollars a month after taxes. I just hate the fact that these companies can be predatory, but then you have other things on top of that that get layered, like these robocalls and whatever, who are also, you know, doing these predatory practices to get even more money out of the. It's just a very layered, broken system. So that's good to hear from T-Mobile. I wonder if anyone else is going to jump into that. But I was actually, I had a different story, but I'm going to continue on to this before I get into chat. But this article, and I see a super chat here from Ruben. Ruben, thank you, man. I will get into that in a second, but I want to roll on to here because since we're talking about telecom services, we might as well talk about Verizon. Verizon, there were a lot of articles that I read today, but Verizon's getting hit with a lot of their BS stuff with 5G. So Verizon said its 5G network is huge. Then reality hit. I just picked one out of the many that showed up in my feed. But last year, Verizon CEO Hans Vestberg said its millimeter wave 5G coverage would only be available in select areas instead of nationwide, clarifying that the company would use high frequency millimeter waves as far as they're economically sustainable. By economically sustainable, that means we're going to put as many as we can that will profit us the most. Once it provides us not that high level of profitability, then we don't care about you. We just care about how much money we make. But that didn't stop the company from falsely implying its millimeter wave 5G coverage was widely available across the US in its advertisements, according to the National Advertising Division. The agency released a statement yesterday that recommended Verizon stop running those ads, and the telecom giant has, reluctantly. The NAD requested in its statement that Verizon discontinue claims which communicate its 5G service is widely available in cities across the country. Next time anyone starts bragging to you about having Verizon's 5G millimeter wave, have them run a speed test for you. Let me know how that works out. And its service is broadly and readily accessible in cities where it has been launched. The agency also asked Verizon to stop telling consumers that the high speeds it advertised in its commercials are what they could typically expect. The fact that we have these companies that get away with it. I mean, obviously they're not getting away with it right now, but they have been for how long? And how long has this message been spouted out for? How long have we been listening to this message that Verizon has the best, best 5G ever? Like, why would you, don't use 5G anywhere else. In fact, our 5G is so good that you have to pay extra for it. You got to pay premium for it. Oh, you like the 1+8? Well, you got to buy the Verizon one if you want 5G millimeter wave, so you can get the fastest speeds, but you also have to spend an extra $100, right? Is it $100 extra if you want to buy a 1+8 directly from Verizon? What other phones are they adding onto that? Was it the Motorola Edge Plus? Or actually, I think the Edge Plus you can only buy from Verizon, and you can get their shitty 5G millimeter wave. So it says here, Verizon is saying it doesn't dispute that its current 5G service is limited and that, quote, Verizon's 5G coverage is primarily restricted to outdoor locations in certain neighborhoods and varies from block to block. What if what would be a lot better? I love how Lisa is just talking here, interrupting me, trying to make my important point. So I'm going to get that out of the way. These videos. No, what I'm trying to say is, imagine if Verizon had to tell you this before they sold you a phone for 5G. Imagine if I was a 5G representative and you were looking at buying a 1+8 from Verizon. I'd be like, yeah, we have this 1+8 from Verizon, and actually this 1+8 that I have here is a Verizon exclusive. You can only use it on Verizon's network, but you can use our 5G millimeter wave. It's the fastest. It's the fastest speed you can get on a 1+8 phone. Probably faster than any other phones we have here because of this 5G millimeter wave technology. But I have to add this in here because, transparency is important. 5G might be very fast, but right now the service is limited. And the coverage for it is not only limited, but it's only restricted outside. and only to certain neighborhoods. Which ones, I don't know, but only certain neighborhoods. Is it a neighborhood around this area? I don't know, but it's just certain neighborhoods. And then that speed, it varies from block to block. Would you buy that phone now? Would you spend that extra $100 knowing, if you knew all that? Can you imagine if every Verizon employee had to tell that to every customer that came in that was trying to buy a 5G phone from them, that they're selling at a more expensive price? How many people would not buy that? I'm sure there would be a lot more consumers then that would be able to share that message with other people. But of course, they're not going to say that, because why would they? But at the same time, they shouldn't have free roam to say that they have the best coverage, widely available, fastest speeds everywhere, and not add that disclaimer in there. That's all I'm trying to get at. We want transparency. I shouldn't have to be a tech reviewer that has to scream this from the rooftop. This should be something that should be widely available to every consumer. I shouldn't have to sit here and try to spread this message to people. This shouldn't be my job, but I'll do it. I mean, it's content for me, but I think it's important that everyone knew this. If I could share this with everybody, I would. I don't know if many people even share this message. You guys know how I do. I don't really watch a lot of other tech stuff, but anyway, I'm glad though that there's, this agency or whatever that's forcing Verizon to stop their BS. The millimeter wave 5G that Verizon does have available in certain cities operates in a high band frequency. That means its 5G signal has a short range of only about 1,000 feet. And that signal is easily distorted by physical objects like buildings, windows, and even tree branches. Oh my God. Why? I wish I read that part before I got into the whole I was a Verizon employee. I mean, imagine adding that in there as well. Say, yeah, the 5G will work, but outdoors, certain neighborhoods, varies from block to block. That signal isn't the best either, 1,000 feet, and it's distorted by even tree branches. Think of it like the Wi-Fi in your house. If you're using your 5G connection, 5 gigahertz connection, ever notice how the further away your computer is from your router, or the more walls the signal has to pass through, the weaker and slower your signal gets? The same thing happens with millimeter wave 5G, only it's much worse. Because those waves are operating on frequencies 30 gigs or higher. To effectively cover an entire metropolitan area, Verizon would need a lot of towers to not only provide a stable wireless connection, but also to provide its customers with the gigabit speeds it's been advertising. As it stands now, it's more common for current 5G users to see speeds closer to 300 megabits per second, that's still fast, but which is what many people already receive from cable broadband ISPs like Spectrum. Sure, 30 gigahertz waves and higher can transmit information really fast, but if the signal's distorted, there's not much point to having them. Verizon isn't the only company the NED has deemed guilty of misleading customers either. The agency has taken issue with AT&T in the past for similarly misleading advertising with its 5G labeling on phones that don't even have 5G capable modems. If anyone's in here listening, if you have AT&T and you see that the 5G show up on your phone, please know, if you've ever told anyone that your phone has 5G, because I know this conversation has probably come up with people here in the States, at least. If your phone on AT&T is showing 5G, that's not 5G. I'm sorry. And I'm not saying that to be, a dick about it. I'm saying it because I don't want you to be duped thinking that AT&T is giving you 5G access, because you're not getting that. That's just some marketing thing that they've had in there. And they've told AT&T to stop advertising it as such, as 5G, but they didn't tell them to remove it from their phones. So phones are still showing 5G, I believe, which I don't know why they wouldn't tell them to remove that, because people are still thinking they're getting 5G, or at least some version of 5G, and probably bragging to other friends about having 5G when they don't have it. It'll take a while for carriers to fully build out the infrastructure needed to deliver the kind of high-speed, low-latency service they've promised from the start. The 5G rollout has already been fraught because of conspiracy theories, and some cell towers have been burned down because people believe 5G caused COVID-19. We don't need false advertising on top of that. we don't need it, but it's here already. The false advertising's been here. People have been saying these kind of things, and it's causing confusion, you know, to just everybody. And it's a shame, because why is someone like me who does this as like on, you know, I take an hour or two out of my day to do this. Like, obviously I love tech, but why does it have to be me that has to regulate these big companies and be like, what are you guys doing? Why are you guys doing this kind of thing? Like, they're the big companies. They're the ones who are supposed to be responsible, who are supposed to be teaching their consumers what they should be buying, what they shouldn't. Like, why do we live in a society where things are so confusing? Why is it made this way so that people can profit off of other people? Like, that's not how our society should run. I work in IT, or I've worked in IT, but the one thing that I have always told myself was never to run a business where I would walk in there like I knew everything and I would keep them confused and never let them understand what's going on, because that keeps me in business. That's not how things should be. It shouldn't be like this. I shouldn't have to explain this kind of stuff so that I can take money out of people's pockets when I don't know. Okay, let me get into chat. I'm sorry, guys. Ruben, I always have to get to the super chats first. Ruben with the $7 super chat. Ruben, thank you so much, man. For the new apartment fund. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Again, listening in from work. And I honestly am thankful that the Pixel 3 XL had helped me with the scam calls. There you go. Though that robocalling feature, I think is a godsend for a lot of people, especially for anybody who's been getting a ton of those kind of calls. But Ruben, man, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. Glad you could listen in. Even if you're not able to watch, I'm glad you could listen in, man. Thank you again so much. All right, let me go back up here. Let me say hi to everyone else, just to make sure I didn't miss anyone. I love tech a lot. Hey, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. T-Mobile, good company, but they get you by financing a phone to keep you 24 months. That's their version of a contract, right? A lot of people will find ways to kind of keep you on their plan, for sure. Deepak Murthy is in here as well. Hey, Jerome. Hey, Deepak. How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, Brian says that's because you're not using your Pixel anymore. Call screen is awesome. Hopkins, same in Europe, but every main carrier offers a 24-month fixed contract if you want to have a carrier phone. Yeah, Brian says, I buy my own phone and tell them, treat me wrong, and I leave for another carrier. And that's really how it should be. That really is how it should be. Okay. Brian also says, that's why I like prepaid at this point. I know the damn price after the fees. Very true. Oh my goodness. I pay $140 for two people with T-Mobile. Oh my God. I know you can find a better deal than that. You should. Wow. There are a lot of options there. I mean, I don't know if there's something specific that you like about T-Mobile. I mean, I have T-Mobile, but I'm paying way, way less than that. So I'm paying 3 times less than you are. I know you could probably find a better deal than that out there. Adwait is in here. Adwait Sharma. How's it going, man? What's up, man? What's up, Adwait? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you. Brian, I'm not even putting that up there. I don't want to get demonetized. Adwait is saying, what laptop are you using? I use a PC. I have this trusty, I think it's 3.5 years old now. I build PCs from scratch. It's a custom built one, but I do have a laptop. I use a 5-year-old MacBook Pro, and that's just like my on the go. If I just need to surf or do like a quick edit in Photoshop or Lightroom, maybe some video editing if I have no choice. But otherwise, I have a custom built PC with like multiple monitors and just everything I need to stream and do everything I need to do. Okay, Y 2019 is in here. Hi, hey Y, how's it going, man? Welcome. Brian says, I also heard the OnePlus 8 Verizon Crap Edition has slightly different dimensions too. So good luck buying a case. Yeah, they do have different dimensions to accommodate the modem for that 5G millimeter wave. Let me see here. Hopkins says, I would be wondering how well 5G would work inside the subway. Actually, that's funny because so right now, I'll just share with you on my Huawei P40 Pro Plus that I have. So on my P40 Pro Plus, I have 5G on it, and I still can't get past 30 megabits per second down on 5G. The only thing that I found on 5G that has been really good is the upload speeds. I'm getting about 30 megabits per second upload speeds, which still isn't the fastest in either direction, but 30 is a lot better than the 5 or the 3 or sometimes the 1 I was getting on my other phone. So at least there's that plus. But as far as download speeds, I'm getting nowhere. I'm not even getting 50. I'm not even, yeah, I have yet to pass 30 megabits per second down on download speeds. And I know 4G phones are capable of that. Brian says here, to tell you the truth, I actually think most Verizon employees want to tell you, but their scumbag management tells them they'll be fired if they do. No, you're right. I completely agree. I'm sure that a lot of these Verizon employees, know that they're just doing their job. I just hate the fact that this is part of their job. Like, I don't think companies should be run this way. That's not how companies should be doing business with consumers at all. Like, not trying to squeeze every single penny out of them. It's just so broken. It's just so broken. Yeah, hell no. I wouldn't buy something that I can only get 5G if I drive around for hours to find it with Verizon Wireless. I barely get 4G LTE where I live. Deepak says, let's be honest, guys, millimeter wave 5G is useless for most of us. Yep. Millimeter wave is not practical. Adwait says, don't curse, bro. YouTube is crazy about demonetization. I know. That's why I haven't been cursing for a while. I'll slip a few in here or there. Adwait, I know you're kind of new to my channel, but if you've been here in the past, like it was kind of no holds barred before, but trying to do this as a living, I've learned to this is why I'm trying to stream on multiple platforms, because I can't stay loyal on one, because I can't even be who I want to be 100%. I mean, I am like, I'm not sitting here trying to be a sellout. Like, that's the last thing I want to do. But yeah, I know Adwait. And plus, if I can run a stream without cursing every other word, then I'll try. I'm trying very hard. I love Tech a lot says, I don't think we need 5G phones right now. We don't even have the towers to support it, right? And why do we need to charge for it as the consumers when we can't even use it? And that's why I keep telling people, do not fall for this 5G marketing hype. Imagine every stream I've been doing day after day for the last how many weeks or even months, talking about 5G, 5G, 5G. Everyone is shoving it down our throats. They're shoving 5G down our throats right now, but it's still nowhere where it needs to be. Nowhere where it needs to be. 5G will be relevant, but it's not today. So unless you're buying a 5G phone today that you're going to keep for 3 years, yeah, maybe that's a good reason to buy 5G now, if you're going to keep it down the road. But if you're buying a phone right now and you don't need 5G and you're going to keep that phone for like a year, 2 years even, why does it matter? Do you think somebody's going to come up to you later, like 6 months down the road, and laugh at you for not having 5G? Are they going to be like, you don't have 5G on your phone? Who are you? Don't talk to me. You don't get 500 megabits per second down. You don't have 5G. You don't get 500 megabits per second down. Look at my phone. Oh, I don't get 500 megabits per second down either. But my phone's 5G. So it says 5G on it, and it doesn't say 5GE. Okay. Bighouse is in here. Bighouse Productions. Hey, Jerome, stream. How's it going, Bighouse? Welcome. Bighouse on Mint Mobile. I had Mint Mobile for a little bit. Yeah, it was legit. It was pretty much T-Mobile. Same thing. Bighouse, welcome. Hopkins says, I think it's sadly intentional deception of consumers, but where is the Bureau of Consumer Protection? Yeah, great question. Where are they? I don't know who governs any of this anymore. I think it's part of their job is to be quite deceptive and kind of keep those hidden fees. It's kind of like every time I move into a new apartment and I have to call Comcast or whatever, they're like, no, we got to bring a technician out. Oh, it's not working because we got to bring a technician out. That's going to be $75. And I'm like, dude, no, it shouldn't be $75 for what? what is, I could be wrong. Maybe they're actually physically doing something, and maybe in the past they have, but I think for the most part, I don't know what I'm paying that $75 for. I bring my own cable modem. I bring my own Wi-Fi router, and then I set everything up by myself, and it still won't work, even though I've given them the MAC ID, the brand name and whatever of the cable modem. And they're like, no, we got to bring them out. They got to do something. I can't tell you what they're going to do, but they're going to do something, and then it'll work. And then you'll get all the speeds you want. You just got to pay that $75 tech fee, because we got to bring some guy out in his van to like do what? You know what? What would happen if I asked them, like, could you specifically tell me what it is they're doing? Are they allowed to tell me what they're doing? Because I would love to know. And like, this is not a knock on a technician. Like, that's what I used to do. Before I left IT, I worked as an IT technician and then a consultant, and I would go from job to job fixing stuff all day. But at least I would tell people, oh yeah, your printer's broken, so I got to replace it, or I got to fix this part, or the PC's, the modem went bad, or what. Like, at least I would explain it to them. I've never had a cable guy really explain to me, but maybe I just haven't asked. I don't know. I haven't thought of that. Okay. Let me scroll down here. Brian's asking who's hosting FNTT tomorrow. Jerome is. I'm not. I think it's Will tomorrow, actually. I was looking through the notes. I think Will is. $2 super chat from Levin. Levin, thank you, man. The Trump administration refund that department. There's a lot of departments that need to be refunded for sure. Deepak says maybe in 2022 5G will be popular everywhere. I guess we'll see. You know what, Deepak, since you're in Italy, because I know Paul Hendricks, I don't know where Paul is. Paul's usually in here. But Deepak, can you do me a favor? Can you tell me what kind of download and upload speeds you get on your mobile service in Italy? I'm curious what it is other parts of the world. So like here in the States, at least under T-Mobile, with download speeds and upload speeds, I think I get anywhere between 25 down for like the fastest speeds. And then when it comes to upload speeds, I'm lucky if I get 5 up. But with 5G, with my Huawei P40 Pro Plus, I'm able to get 25 to 30 up, which is great. I know when Paul said he was doing it, he was saying he was getting like 400 down and something ridiculous up as well. I'm curious what you get. And also let me know what service. It's out of curiosity, because I want to know how other countries' speeds are compared to what the US gets. Let me see here. Adwait says people have to pay higher prices for the new Snap SoCs, even in places where 5G does not even exist yet. Yeah, this is also why we've talked about why we need other competition than just Snapdragon or Qualcomm. We need other competitors out here making other SoCs. And then I think about Huawei and how they've pretty much been like, banned from doing anything. And now Huawei can't even use Kirin chipsets next year. And I had another article. I didn't even think I put it in here. No, I do have it in here about TSMC, but I'll get into that later. Ruben says, imagine getting ghosted by a female you want to ask out because you don't have 5G. It's like the blue bubble, green bubble thing. Team Bryce says, I can stick with 4G for the next couple of years. To be honest, I think most of us can, for sure. Yeah, Brian says, yeah, crab dragons are causing prices that are out of control. Deepak also says, we consumers are paying all the costs for that 5G infrastructure with overpriced phones and phone plans. You're not wrong. In Italy, we get around 150 down and 30-40 up in 4G. Look at that. So that's so crazy to me. So for you to get that 150 down on 4G, we don't get that here in the States. I don't know. Maybe other people get that in the States. I know there are people here in the US. Do any of you guys here in the US, are you getting 150 down when you run a speed test? And I'm not talking about your Wi-Fi. I'm talking about on your carrier, on T-Mobile, on Sprint, AT&T, Verizon. Are you getting 150 down and 30 and 40 up regularly? Because that 30 up right now is new to me on 5G. I've never had that before. Deepak's getting it on 4G. Paul Hendricks was saying he was getting 400 down on his, and I can't remember what he got up, but it was something still very, very high. Yeah. Brian says, hell no. Big House says, no way. Do you think the US is capable of getting those speeds? Sure. I think we are, but, we're not getting it for whatever reason. And now the answer is no, it's because you need a 5G phone. You want to get speeds that that everyone else gets around the world using 4G? Well, no. We can't give you that here in the States. You got to go get that elsewhere. You can't live in the States for that. If you want those speeds, you got to get it here in the US. Or if you want those speeds, you have to get 5G, and then you got to stand right in front of the millimeter wave tower and make sure a tree branch isn't in the way, because then you're not going to get those speeds at all. It's so sad. It's so sad. Okay. All right. Let's move on, guys. Before I move on, oh, there we go. I just tested now. I got 25 down, 27 up. You got 27 up with your 4G? So are you telling me that me having 5G on my Huawei P40 Pro Plus is, I would probably get the same. I need to bring my I just don't carry my other phones anymore. I need to carry my iPhone 11 Pro on me and test out 4G and see what I get with up speeds. 25 down, 27 up. That's what I'm getting right now about on my P40 Pro Plus. Well, damn it. Okay. Really quick, guys, before I continue, if you guys are in here in stream, thank you so much for joining. Please do me a favor, hit that like button. I know that sounds cheesy. I know that sounds markety, and I hate being that person, but to help with the stream, I'm guessing it helps people find the stream. Please hit that like button. It's a way to support, and I do appreciate that. If you guys can get a second too, if you are not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. I do stream Mondays through Fridays every weekday at 2 p.m. Central. So if you have a chance, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. God, I sound so awful saying that, but it does help me out. So if you'd like to support in that way, please, I would really appreciate that. And last but not least, if you guys are in the chat and you've noticed, if you guys are in the chat and you've noticed people with green in their name, I'm really butchering this, and a red Chicago star next to their name, that is because they are part of the Phone Jerome fam, and you can be one too. And why is this showing double? Don't worry about that right now. Anyway, you could do this all for 99 cents a month by just clicking that join button. So please, if you get a chance, take a look at that. You'll get the red Chicago star next to your name. You'll get to use custom emoji, and you'll get your name in every single one of my intros and outros of my live streams. If you can't find that blue join button, you can go to youtube.com/Phone Jerome/join. And that's all I'm going to, God, I'm really butchering this. That's all I'm really going to do when I'm talking about marketing, guys. Either way, I know times are tough for everybody. So even if you can't, just liking the stream, subscribing, like, it's just a way to support. And I do appreciate it. Being in the comments, saying what's up, like, it's like talking with chat, being in the community, it means a lot to me. So thank you, guys. Thank you. But let's go ahead. Let's move on. Wow. I spent 40 minutes talking about 5G. Did not see that coming. So let's move on. Let's talk about Vivo. So Vivo, this article from The Verge is saying Vivo's gimbal-equipped X50 flagship phones are launching internationally. The X50 Pro will sell for $665. Let's think about phones that are in this $665 category right now. The LG Velvet, right, is in that category. The upcoming Pixel 5 will probably be in that category. And other phones at around $650 to $700 is the OnePlus 8. That's a $700 phone there. So I don't really know what this X50 Pro, I know I've talked about it before, but God, I can't remember every single phone anymore. So let's see what this phone comes equipped with that price point. Vivo has announced the international launch of the X50 series of flagship smartphones, including the X50, X50 Pro, X50 Pro Plus. God, everyone's using these same name monikers or whatever. The headline feature is the gimbal-style camera on the two higher-end models, which Vivo says represents a breakthrough improvement on traditional optical image stabilization systems for both photos and videos. If you're not aware of what a gimbal is, think of it as just like when you see, I guess, more higher production videos or like in movies, to get like that smooth kind of like image stabilization, they usually use a gimbal, something to kind of offset the shaking of like you running with a phone, like and recording video. And it looks like Vivo is actually able to put a gimbal style whatever technology in their phones. The X50 Pro Plus sits at the top of the range with a Snapdragon 865. So think about these specs, as I already told you, the other phones that come at around that $665 price point. A Snapdragon 865, up to 12 gigs of RAM, a 120 hertz, 6.6 inch curved OLED screen, a 4350 milliamp hour battery with 44 watt fast charging. Primary camera uses Samsung's new 50 megapixel ISO cell GN1 sensor and Vivo's gimbal system, and it's backed up with a 13 megapixel ultra wide, 13 megapixel 5x periscope telephoto, and a 32 megapixel depth sensor. The X50 Pro cuts down in a few areas. The processor is a Snap 765. Curved screen is 90 hertz. 4,300 milliamp hour battery, charges at 33 watts, and the maximum amount of RAM is 8 gigs, which still isn't bad at all. The main gimbal camera uses a 48 megapixel sensor, blah, blah, blah. We're just going to kind of skip through that right now. We don't need to read all of that. The regular X50, meanwhile, has a Snap 765 flat 90 hertz screen, 4,200 milliamp hour battery, doesn't have the gimbal system. I'm trying to get into prices here. So, okay, here we go. The X50 series will initially launch in markets including India, Indonesia, Russia, and more. Indian pricing is, I'm guessing this is rupees, right? 35,000 rupees, which is $465 for an X50 with 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, Snapdragon 765. $505 will get you 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs internal storage, and that is also the Snapdragon 65. And for 50,000 rupees, for 50,000 rupees, $665, you get 8 gigs of internal storage, or 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of internal storage. You get the Snapdragon 865, you get their gimbal-like system, you get the 120 hertz refresh rate, OLED display. I mean, those specs sound better already than what you get on the OnePlus 8. Now, how much better is it in the camera? I don't know. But that gimbal system feels like that's I don't want to call it a game changer because I've never used it, but it sounds like technology that OnePlus isn't using. I would imagine the stabilization on this phone would be better than the stabilization on the OnePlus 8. I could be wrong because I don't have either of these phones, but it's nice to see that, you know, these prices are here. Would you buy an LG Velvet over this phone? I feel like this phone has a better deal than the LG Velvet. It already has a better chipset in there. Probably has a better camera, I'm guessing. I think the only competition would be the OnePlus 8, and I don't even know how close it is in terms of specs, performance. Battery is also big on this phone. I don't know. This phone seems packed for what it has. At least that's what it seems like to me. Okay. All right. Let me go back in here. Brian with the $1 super chat. Did I miss this, Brian? Did I say? No, I didn't. Sorry. Brian, thank you, man. Thank you for the $1 super chat. Right. I didn't thank you earlier. I'm already forgetting. This is so bad. Regardless, Brian is a very frequent contributor of my live stream. So Brian, thank you so much, man. Thank you for the support. Thank you as always for the continued support. Thank you for also being a moderator and taking care of the chat. So thank you so much. Okay, let me go back in here. Let me make sure I'm reading everything. Deepak says, I only pay €8 a month for 50 gigs of internet and unlimited calls and SMS. €8 per month? What is that in US? Is that like $15, $10 US? That's ridiculously cheap. God, that's so much cheaper than what we get here. and faster. These carriers won't give you that type of speed until they drain every dollar from you. I know, man. Adwait says you need to do a stream on the phone prices going up. This topic needs more attention. Phone costs more than laptops and cannot do half the stuff that laptops do. Adwait, that's true. I know you say I need to do a stream, but this is basically everything I talk about every day. Every day I complain. I think my stream or my channel focuses so much on prices and trying to get the best dollar out of stuff. And I say it because I feel like I have to say it every time because I don't want people getting gypped out of their phones. If you want to watch somebody get gypped out of their phones, just watch me because I'm the one that pays $800 for this Pixel 4. I'm the one that paid $1,300 for this Huawei P40 Pro Plus. Like, if you want to see someone pay the money, you can just watch my channel. And then I'll tell you how I feel about it. But yeah, you're right, Adwait. It's something that needs a ton of attention. Big House says, I just got 16 down and 3 up. That's typically what I get. That's typically what I get on mine. Oh my God. Okay. So Brian says the extra OIS is pretty cool though on the X50. Yeah, for sure. Adwait says that the gimbal feature is actually pretty useful. I hope that OnePlus puts this in their next phone since they have access to that technology. They do. Hopkins says, I saw a test on YouTube where it was compared to the iPhone 11 Pro and the iPhone was really good in comparison. You know, I give so much credit to Apple with the iPhone. Even though I'm very excited about my Huawei P40 Pro Plus, the one thing that I've read, or at least I've seen, or from other testimonials, is the fact that the iPhone still probably has the best video in the camera phone segment today. People are saying that the video on the iPhone 11 Pro, and I'm not just talking about the video, I'm also talking about the audio quality and everything, is just superior on Apple's iPhone. Why is that? Why are Android manufacturers not making better video? I don't know. I haven't tested it on my Huawei P40 Pro Plus yet, but I'll have to give it a shot. Yeah, Team Verizon says a gimbal in a phone would be mad insane for sure. Okay, so yeah, Deepak is saying $9 to $10 a month. My God. And I think I'm getting a deal, paying 21 or 22 or 23 bucks. And I am getting a deal here in the US. Imagine like Deepak, you just saw, who was it? I Love Tech a Lot. He just said he's paying $70 per person. He's paying $140 for 2 phones. Like, you want to talk about squeezing every penny out of us? Like, there's a perfect example. This isn't even compared to what phone. I remember when people were paying $100 plus per month for phone prices, and only recently, the last couple of years, it's dropped down in price where they've had more affordable plans. But the companies made their money. They made a good amount of money. They made a good amount of profit year over year for that. Okay. I'm like looking at my stories here. I want to talk about this because I was very surprised to see this happen. Did you hear about this hack that happened? This article from Bleeping Computer has, they were talking about how a bunch of high-end accounts got hacked on Twitter. And not just people, but companies. So Apple, Kanye West, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and more got hacked in Twitter account crypto scam. And look at all of these. I don't know if you guys have seen these or not. Look at all of these tweets. Elon Musk tweeted, I'm feeling generous because of COVID-19. I'll double any Bitcoin payment sent to my Bitcoin address for the next hour. Good luck and stay safe out there. And then the Bitcoin address is listed here. Bitcoin even got hacked, right? We've partnered with Crypto for Health and are giving back 5,000 Bitcoin to the community. See more here. Apple got hacked. We're giving back to our community. We support Bitcoin and we believe you should too. All Bitcoin sent to our address below will be sent back to you doubled. Only going on for the next 30 minutes. Bill Gates saying the same thing. Uber, Kanye West. And I don't know if this all happened at the same time, but there is a good amount of people who follow these companies, these celebrities on Twitter. And this is such to me, it sounds like I don't want to call it a sophisticated hack because I don't know how sophisticated it is, but the thought behind it to get all of these big accounts at the same time and maybe tweet all of this at the same time to try to profit as much as they can. I mean, the fact that it's Bitcoin and you're sending it to, this virtual address or digital address and it's untraceable or untrackable. I don't know all the insides about it because it's not something I really keep up with, but crazy to think that all of this was easily hackable. These big accounts were easily hackable. Hackers are taking over high-profile verified Twitter accounts to promote a cryptocurrency scam promising to give away up to 5,000 Bitcoins to those sending between 0.1 BTC to 20 BTC to a, quote, contribution address. We're looking into this and we'll share a statement ASAP. A Twitter spokesperson told Bleeping Computer. The scammers are using the hijacked accounts to send the messages through Twitter's web app. And so far, they have managed to collect 11.39 Bitcoin, which amounts to roughly $105,000 on just one of the Bitcoin addresses used in the scam. And when was this article written? I mean, it was today. I don't know how early it was. I don't know if they were able to get more. I have no idea if they're even able to get any of this money back to people who sent them Bitcoin. I'm guessing they didn't. I don't know. One of the scam messages is designed to bait potential victims with the Bitcoin giveaway. And then it just shows here like the things I was reading. Another version pushed through the accounts of Bill Gates and Elon Musk promises to double all contributions within 30 minutes. Everyone is asking me to give back and now is the time. I'm doubling all payments sent to my Bitcoin address. And look, there's just so many. It wasn't just those. Barack Obama. What else does it say here? Joe Biden, Warren Buffett, Wiz Khalifa. Oh my God. Holy cow. There's no information yet on how these Twitter accounts were hijacked, but theories range between the compromise of a third-party app to the use of Twitter's password reset form to gain access. There are also reports that the attackers changed the email address associated with the hijacked Twitter accounts to block the rightful owners from taking back control of their profiles. That's a lot of money people lost. Jesus. I thought it was really interesting, so I just wanted to share. I've seen, we hear about these scams and whatever all the time, but this is a pretty big one and a pretty big one that got hacked. Why didn't they take Trump's? Oh my God. Imagine Trump's getting hacked too. Wow. Okay. Anyway, let me see. I got time for one more story. So, let me do two more. I want to talk about, because I have this listed on my thumbnail here, but iQoo, iQoo, unveils its cheapest smartphone, the U1. This article from Tech Radar. It's a 4G phone costing $171. A very cheap phone for having a new cheap phone. After a promising demonstration of super fast 120-watt charging, iQoo is back with yet another launch, this time done subtly. It has quietly launched a mid-range iQoo U1 with a Snapdragon 720, 720G. You don't hear that one often, at a price tag of CNY 1198. So $171 US. It boasts a 6.53-inch IPS LCD display, 1080p or 1080. It covers 90.2% of the screen to body ratio. There's a single punch hole at the top left right here. I mean, it looks good. It looks like a modern smartphone, right? There's a fingerprint sensor etched onto the power button and volume rockers to the right. We have a vertical stack of cameras right here and an iQoo branding at the bottom of the rear. Powering the device is Qualcomm's 4G Snap 720G SoC. It's built on an 8-nanometer process clocked at a max frequency of 2.3 gigs. As for the optics, the triple camera setup houses a 48-megapixel main and two 2-megapixel portrait and macro lenses. So 8-megapixel front for the selfies and a 4,500 milliamp hour battery. that supports 18 watt fast charging. So it seems to have borrowed the U and Z naming from Vivo, as the recently launched cheapest 5G smartphone Z1X has naming similar to the Vivo Z1X from last year. So they haven't skipped. They're saying even though it's aimed at the budget, or aimed to be in the budget, it hasn't skipped on LPDDR4 and faster UFS 2.1 storage. Has 6 or 8 gigs of RAM and 64 or 128 gig internal storage variants. So it can be as cheap as $171, or you can get the 8 gigs of RAM with 128 gigs of internal storage for $200. No. 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of internal storage is $200, and then 8 gigs of RAM is $228. So cheap prices for brand new phones. Pre-orders are already up, and it's going to be available for sale starting July 23rd. I don't see a lot of phones pricing that cheap, so just thought I'd share. Okay, last one, guys. This article from, God, I can't pronounce this. The Nikkei, Nikkei. I always see that name or whatever up there. But this is a crackdown on Huawei. TSMC plans to halt chip supplies to Huawei in 2 months. Huawei's, I don't know where Huawei's going to go from here. I have no idea what their plan is to move forward after getting pushed away from a bunch of other companies, or people aren't going to work with them. They're no longer going to be working with 5G, and I don't know who's going to take over. It's probably going to be a U.S. company, because the U.S. played a big role in getting these guys to stop doing what they're doing, or at least slow them down. So TSMC on Thursday confirmed it has suspended processing new orders from key customer Huawei Technologies to comply with U.S. export regulations, but said it can still achieve more than 20% revenue growth this year, thanks to strong demand for 5G smartphones, infrastructure, and high-performance computing applications. The world's biggest contract chip maker also said it's ramping up capital spending for 2020 despite the ongoing pandemic. We're complying fully with the new U.S. regulations. We didn't take any new orders from Huawei since May 15th. We do not plan to ship wafers to Huawei after September 14th. Under the tightened export control rule, non-U.S. chip companies must apply for licenses to use American technology and tools to supply Huawei, the biggest Chinese tech company. Liu did not say whether TSMC plans to apply for licenses to ship to Huawei. And this is just more business stuff. I just thought I'd share to show you guys what else is getting affected with them. We see our customers having high anticipations and are preparing for 5G smartphones, blah, blah, blah. That's it. That's all I got. TSMC's not working with Huawei anymore, or they're going to stop working with them in 2 months, or about 2 months. So goodbye, Huawei. Maybe I won't see a Huawei P50 Pro Plus in the future. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. I don't think I have much else. There are these other small stories, but I'm not really going to cover them at this point. But let me see here. I know you guys are just talking amongst each other, which is great. But yeah, I think that's it. That's our hour, guys. What's today? Thursday? Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. So tomorrow I will be back. We will have our show again. Actually, I need to go ahead and cue this up. But before I go, I want to thank everybody for joining the stream. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for liking. Thank you for all my subscribers. Thank you to my patrons and to my YouTube members. I want to thank everybody today for, jumping in, saying hi in chat, being part of the chat. And for all the super chatters, how am I going to forget that? Guys, thank you so much for the continued support. It always means a lot to me. Tomorrow, I will be back 2 p.m. Central. We'll do it all over again. We'll have more tech to talk about. Otherwise, that's it from me. Come back tomorrow. I already said we'll do it all over again. So we'll do it all over again. Bye, guys. Have a good one. I got to hit the play. Okay, now I'm going to keep waving. Bye. See you later.